Game developers usually comprise of two kinds of people, artists or programmers. Now, I'm a programmer, but usually what happens is that one of these two people, or both people, like video games as a kid or as a teenager or whatever, and then they end up going into game development. You sell your soul and you end up in the game development community. Welcome. Now, my name's Omar. If you guys don't know me, I've been working on a game called Soulforge for the last few months. It's just a dungeon crawler game. I'm making it in Godot, and as you can imagine, I've run into many problems along the way. Now, you might be wondering why I mentioned the whole artist programmer thing. Well, whether you're an artist, a programmer, or a genocidal maniac, there is one thing that we all fear, and I have come face to face to it recently in one of my new challenges for this game. And that thing is game design. Game design is a category that has several categories. One of the categories that's in it, for example, is level design or sound design, those kind of things. Now, however you want to describe it, that's the general idea. Now, the one thing that I am loving so much right now and that we're going to be talking about and focusing on in this video is level design. So originally, this is what I had. Now, I know it's amazing, and if you compare it to this, it's really good, but it's not ideal. So I wanted to change up things a little bit. I changed up some of the assets. I changed the art a lot. We got a new character, and we kind of scrapped the wizard that we had before because the art doesn't really match anymore. So we have a player, we have some assets, it's looking good, but now what we want to do is now implement level 1. I want to remake the first level. Now here's my problem. I am not very great at level design in 3D, and so I'm still learning. Now, one of the things I've learned is what we can do is essentially shape out some levels or some shapes using CSG shapes first. We're going to put out some CSG shapes until we get kind of a rough idea of what we want. And then you have some stuff, and then you just slap it all together with some trees, some grass. You put shit together, and there you go. You got some great level design. So originally, that's what I did with my outside. I wanted to create a cutscene before going into the dungeon, so kind of to introduce the player to the game. So that's what I did. I started from the outside, created a forest scene where you have a bunch of trees, rocks, etc., and then you slowly enter the dungeon. And 1 week later, we have this. Now, that's great, and that kind of worked, and I used some external tools for that, and it was really good in Godot, but now comes my next problem is, well, the dungeon itself. So originally, you might think, wow, what do you mean? Level design is so easy. Well, fuck you, it's not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a line. Now see, a line, you can actually do quite a bit with it. You can make a 2D platformer, and well, that's kind of it. You can, yeah. But here's the fun part. You take more than one line, and well, we can make a box. And with a box, we can make, well, my first level. Now, you can imagine, though, a box is not exactly very fun. So we want to make it a bit more interesting than that. Now comes my problem. When I tried to implement different things or even draw things, it was just not working. Things look clumpy. And no matter what I did inside of the engine, it would always just look like a big box. It would feel like just a box and you're stuck inside of it. And that's not the feeling I want in a dungeon crawler, and I didn't really want to take the procedural generation route, at least not yet. I want to actually make my first level custom made by me and do it myself, mainly for level design purposes. So that's what I've been trying to do, but I've run into a lot of challenges along the way. Now, two of my main problems are so. The first one is I don't know how I'm gonna essentially put things around. I don't know essentially the rooms, the format, stuff like that. The second problem is how I'm gonna actually draw everything in the engine. Now the first problem was actually solved pretty easily. I watched this video and it was actually for a D&D video. It is very informative, so check it out. I'll put it in the description down below. Even though you don't play D&D, I don't really play D&D that much, but it was very good for level design. So if you're into that stuff, go check it out. It's a very cool video. But essentially the idea of that video, or the idea of what I took away from it, is you make different rooms, you throw out dice onto a piece of paper, you draw the rooms around those dice, depending on the size of the dice as well, and then you connect each one. Each dungeon should have connection to everything essentially. And then you make some loops, and then you categorize these loops with different themes, and that's basically it. And I mean, there's more to it, but that's basically what I took from it. Okay, now my second problem, which is, what am I going to do about the actual engine? Like, how am I going to put stuff? Well, I've been using something called a grid map in Godot, and I'm not really enjoying it. It's not very fun, and I'm not liking it very much. I just repeated myself, but whatever. So yeah, grid map's not really the way to go for me. And I've tried using the terrain again, but that didn't really go well either. So I gave up on those two, and I decided to do everything manually, which is what I'm doing. I know, it's amazing, but this took a while, and that's pretty much it, to be honest, for this video. I think I'm going to end the video here, as it's gotten a little long, and I'm exhausted, and I need some sleep. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit that sub button down below, and yeah, like, comment, share some more, comment some more, make a new account, like some more, do that, all that stuff for the algorithm, and I will see you guys in a month, maybe less, maybe more. We'll see.